Hi, I'm Ernie Medina with TRB, and today I'm joined by one of our TRB instructors, Riley Lawson, and we're going to feature a technique that we're going to go over in our Defensive Skills Academy. So the philosophy behind the Defensive Skills Academy is that there's more than one method of fighting which is beyond the firearm. So in the CCW world, a lot of people teach and train all about the firearm, which is great. There's certainly a lot to dive into there. But when it comes to defensive skills, it doesn't just end there. And a lot of times, if you can support your shooting abilities with good hand-to-hand or disarming techniques and things like that, that'll actually help you be a better shooter, better defender. So here at TRB, we don't like to simply just say, hey, we teach firearms, and that's the only mindset that we have. No, our mindset goes beyond that. We should be an all or well-rounded defender more than just a shooter. That being said, we're going to feature one of the things that we are going to go over in our Defensive Skills Academy as we progress with our students, and that is how to defend against a knife attack, more of a thrusting type of knife attack. So out there in the street, you'll see two kinds of thrusts. One, it could be that Riley gets in my bubble, so to speak, which is certainly possible, and he wants to drive that knife into my torso or wherever. Okay, so just to slowly demonstrate, his intent is to drive the knife here. Okay, this is where he gets in close. That's probably what he wants to do. Now, if he's starts out a little bit farther away, okay, and he drives that knife, he's probably going to drive straighter in because he has to gain or reach distance. Okay, so we're going to go over the two ways that we can defend against those two variations of the thrusting type attack. These are just two of many ways that we can defend against things. So there's just a lot of ways you can do it, but this is just a couple of those particular ways. Now, if he's starting from the far away method, okay, the first thing I want to do is get out of the way if possible. So if I see or I'm aware, one, that he's armed, has a knife, and has a propensity to attack me with it, and he drives it straight in, the best thing I can do is just not be there. So if he drives straight in, I'm just going to move out of the way, okay? That's the first thing, the first thought I have. Now, what's going to back that up, because he's going to also recalculate if he sees me move, okay, what's going to back that up is my hands. My hands naturally, from a protective standpoint, are going to want to come up. So as I'm moving out of the way, the hands come up. And what that does is if he decides to recalculate, okay, his arm is going to be, I'm going to be on the outside of his arm, and what's going to happen, he drives, okay, and I can keep this arm from driving towards me. So I'm moving out of the way, I'm moving my body offline, and now I'm going to get my hands on his arm, and this hand, the hand closest to him, is going to drive or glide toward his wrists. I want to get possession of this wrist, so that way I can prevent that knife from changing directions toward me. This hand right here is going to support the arm from moving by simply coming to, and then I can double back and apply this wrist lock, really grabbed and driven by here. This arm is applying that pressure, and he doesn't like it, okay? From here, the first thing that's going to happen, he's going to drop that knife, but I'm going to break his wrist, followed by his elbow, and ultimately, potentially, his shoulder. So I'm just going to drive here. He's going to want to drop that knife, okay? And then I can follow up with whatever blows I want to do. I can come in with an elbow. I can come in with a knee strike, whatever. If he drops that knife, I don't care about it right now. I want to go ahead and neutralize the threat. Once that's done, then I can clear that weapon from the situation. Okay, but don't reach for the weapon while you're still trying to manipulate him. That's just giving him an opportunity. So that's one way to do it, okay? And we'll just go ahead and demonstrate that in a little bit more smooth real time. So he's got a little bit of distance. I got a little bit of time to figure this out. And he's coming in. I'm going to move. Hands come up. I go in for the wrist. I support here. And then I come back around, okay? This, as we see, is the C-clamp here. I'm not holding his wrist because now I'm supporting the thing I want to break. But this arm, driven by my body, my movement, is going to apply that pressure, and he doesn't like it, okay? And that's what's going to drive the weapon out of his hand and then breaking wrist and elbow, and then ultimately shoulder, okay? The next variation of that we're going to demonstrate is more of the close in, okay? And this is more of like busy street type stuff. If somebody gets in your space, in your bubble. So he comes in, and again, I want to move this direction if possible. I'm not going to be able to clear his arm going this way. It's just essentially suicide because he's coming in this way. So I want to avoid that by moving my body the other way towards his inside. Again, the arms are going to come up. So he comes in, arms come up, okay? And then from here, I'm just going to grab this wrist right here. Now, the thing here is to neutralize the weapon, the threat, from getting me. Now, that does not mean that this hand of his isn't still free. And understand this, that in a real-life situation like this, you're going to take some shots. You're going to take a punch or three or whatever. Likely, you will get nicked or stabbed in some way, just hopefully not where it kills you. Okay, so understand the reality of what's happening. The first thing I need to do is get out of the way and secure this from hurting me, okay? The next thing I want to do is I actually want to get his center. So I'm going to drive this forearm, really, up to his neck, and then I just want to come in and kind of swim, if you will, cup the back of his neck, and then from there I can help the situation by delivering a knee strike to buckle him over some if necessary, or a low knee strike to the manly area. But then from there I can actually bring him in and then secure the knife this way. So I can bring him to the ground while then securing the knife that way. From there, there's many different things that I can do, from subduing him and everything, but I want to get him off balance, do a couple shots, and then bring him down to the ground, okay? And that will be another set of techniques once we get him there that we can further disarm and subdue him that way. So that's a couple different ways that we will address in our Defensive Skills Academy, how we can defend against a knife attack, or if it was a different weapon, a gun, a bat, whatever, right? We will talk about that in our Defensive Skills Academy, as well as along with hand-to-hand techniques. So if you're interested, join us for our Defensive Skills Academy, where we will learn more about that.